Listen, man, let's cultivate together. Bring us all your show ideas. Content creators, we're looking for that. Videographers, we're looking for that. You can be a part of the next great big thing that takes place right here in Chester, Pennsylvania. Let's cultivate together, man.
CMPRadio.net. It's the station. CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester.
What's up, everybody, man? We want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. Let's go. Chester Cultural Arts and Technology Center, that's the CAT Center. Mecca, Mosley Early Childhood Consulting and Advising. KC Electrical Services. Mind Our Own Businesses. LeBron Construction. Northern Marketing and Design. Pressure Inc. The Boys and Girls Club of Chester. Paragon Charisma, and Chester Community Charter School. Listen, they're sponsors. You too can be a sponsor. Hit us up at info, that's INFO, at cmpradio.net, and let's see how we can build this relationship even further. It's cmpradio.net. You already know it's the
cmpradio.net, the voice of Chester.
Two, 3 minutes. So everybody can have a seat, please. And fill in the late people that come in and let them know what happened.
that's just where I'm at. Just all good.
Stillness. Wait for it to open up.
Yes, we're on the same wavelength.
Sometimes that's even
Yeah, no, I know. And I don't, yeah, and then it gets, then you take it on, and then you're not good. Yeah, so I was just, let me just.
and I try to finish.
Right, no, I'm forced. We just had like 2,000 conversations in like 5 minutes. That's exactly where I was going to go. Like forcing things, like striving, and pushing, and then you get resentful, and you make up stories in your head, and all this stuff. So I'm not. I just really get. But you're helping me to like get inspired again to go back.
Good evening. We want to thank you all for coming. First of all, those of you who don't know me, my name is John Linder. I'm excited about tonight in particular because last time we saw some of this audience, it was virtual. So now it's live and live in color. So we're all here together, and hopefully we're going to have a great evening. I want to start off by saying the name of this particular scenario is Reentry, Resetting, and Redemption. And this project started with a dream. And I heard a speaker say one time, he said, you may never do anything that you have dreamed of doing, but you'll never do anything that you have not dreamed of doing. So this started with a dream. A lot of conversation between myself and the person I'm going to introduce in a moment. And this is the third set that we've had. Actually, it's the fourth set if you include the last virtual set. But this is the third in-person set that we've had with Reentry, Resetting, and Redemption. So we appreciate you coming, and many of you have been here with us before, and we appreciate you coming to Widener with us. And with that, I just want to thank our Widener, our host, for having us here, because they did a lot of things, moved some things around, and made sure that we had a great venue to be here. You can hear me? Now you can hear me? See, I don't believe I need a mic. That's probably why I'm not doing that. So. But I know they're recording this as well. But I want to thank Widener. And Katie, if she's out there, can she come in here for a second? Katie Hershey from the president's office, President Woman of the college, President Woman. She's been instrumental in making this event happen here, and I just want to thank her right now before we finish, Katie. So thank you for everything. And we thank the president. We had hoped that she would drop by tonight, and maybe she still will. Who knows? Second thing, I want to thank our sponsors, and one of our sponsors is here, Megan Grant from Keystone First. Where's Megan? She was just around here somewhere. But those of you who know Megan is an integral part of what goes on in the community, and she supports a lot of things here with Keystone First, so thank you for that. I'm going to introduce my friend Jonathan King. And I just want to say this about him, because when I was talking about the dream, I was talking about him. And he and I talked a lot. He worked with me with Safe Corridors and mayor's office and so forth, but this is his dream. And I'm just helping him as much as I can articulate that and get people, help some people at the same time. Help him to help some people. That's what our goal is to do. So I said a lot of things about him before. I'm not going to swell his head up anymore like I did the last time, because I have a hard time getting him in and out of the doors now when I talk about him too much because his head's so big. But he's done a lot, and he's worked hard to get to this point, and I'm proud to have him as a friend, as an associate, and I'm glad to help him with this whole dream with reentry, resetting, and redemption. And this is the Pardons Clinic, and we got an array of guests up here, so we're going to get on with the program. Jonathan?
Good evening, everyone. The first thing I want to say is Reentry, resetting, and redemption, a pardon clinic. Reentry means to return back to society so you can be a productive citizen again, right? It's a very contradicting statement. Resetting means to get on your feet, get a job, get a trade, get a college degree, or whatever that looks like for you, so you can be considered a productive citizen. The holy grail of reentry is redemption. Because if you don't get a pardon, if you don't get an expungement, that target really still lies on the back of you like a bullseye. Now, you can believe that's not true all you want if you're successful financially and all these things. And I don't want to put a personal business out here, but I know people that have done some very great things on a whole nother level and couldn't achieve it because he had a conviction on his record. And that was his motivation to make him get a pardon. See, through our lens, right, people who come from my community, we already feel like we don't get a fair shake. So we have to do things different than your average person, whatever that looks like. I don't even know the definition of an average person because there's two different kinds of justice that I believe. I was blessed to come out of prison and to have an opportunity to intermingle with some of these very important folks in this room right now. If they didn't believe in the dream that we had to help people in our community be better, they wouldn't be here. I know that. I've proven to them with my work, with my track record, with my motivation and dedication, my authenticity, that a person like me can change, right? Change is one of the hardest things to do for any human being. I don't care what your status is. It is very hard to change with your back up against the wall. We are here to change lives. We're not here on no political agenda. We're not here on a religious agenda. We're not here on a preference agenda. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come from. This thing is about getting the message out to people, the everyday people, the laymen, and all of the people that's on a level that make decisions to help change our lives to be better, to let them know that we normal too. There's been people who've been incarcerated who've done things on the highest level of government, the highest level, and I've met a lot of them. So I hope that you take something away from this meeting tonight, because we're not just here to talk and intermingle and take pictures with one another. We're here to get some work done. This is what you call a working meeting. That's what this is about. This is about information. You know what I mean? Partnerships, collaborations, and solutions. So with that being said, I really appreciate and I'm grateful for the people that came here tonight, because y'all could have been doing anything. And believe me, you're going to leave here with some benefit. Rather you're a person that's trying to get a pardon, or you're a person that's trying to be a partner in the pardon process, right? So we're not here to prove nothing to anyone. We're here to show you that there's a change coming for reentry. And I'm proud to say that I was formerly incarcerated and overcame all of those obstacles. And it can be impossible, but the word impossible is not even in my vocabulary. And I'm gonna leave you with something that I want y'all to really think about, right? Every saint was a sinner, right? And every sinner got a future. So with that, let's start this process, and hopefully everyone will get benefit out of it. I'm gonna get this mic back to John. Thank you so much for coming.
So I guess what Jonathan's trying to tell us, that nobody's perfect, right? In fact, we're going to give the perfect person a moment. If you're perfect, stand up, you had a mic for 60 seconds. We can't. 60 seconds. I'm going to cut that in half. Okay. We just want to have a moment of silence. There's a couple of people we want to recognize. One is our friend Richard Carter, who is from Chester and from Delaware County, who did a lot of work trying to bring re-entry to the forum. And he worked hard, and he died working, and he just did a lot of things. So we want to recognize him, and we also want to recognize a person who recently passed, and that's Ty Salim Trader. And he would have definitely been here tonight if he was alive, but he he was, I believe, killed in a car accident. And so we want to just recognize him. So let's give a moment of silence for those two individuals. All right, thank you. And is there anyone here from Senator Kane's office to speak? We know he was. If so, let me know where you are. Senator? Okay. Well, I was told he's stuck in traffic, so when he gets here, we will give him his due because he's the senator. So we appreciate him coming. We're going to have now, I'm going to ask Mr. Matthew Krauss from the Delaware County District Attorney's Office to come and say a few words. Okay, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Very nice to see a lot of familiar faces. And as Jonathan said, I don't want to take away too much time from the work. This is a working meeting. On behalf of District Attorney Stolzheimer, First Assistant District Attorney Krauss, couldn't be more pleased to be a partner with everybody that you see in here, everybody you see in this room. It's not often that the District Attorney's Office gets to be proactive and be a partner in helping you all get to a new place in your lives. And when you take it upon yourself to come to this meeting and be here, that's a step in the right direction. You got to put in the work, and the work's still there, but I can promise you that as an administration, the Delaware County District Attorney's Office is going to do all that we can to help you all get to where you need to be, because we all want to see the same thing: a better community, a better county, and I think we all agree that this is a great way to get there. So I appreciate you having me, appreciate you having us partner with you all, and we look forward to helping you in the very near future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's good to have friends in both offices. I'm getting ready to introduce another person from the District Attorney's Office. Mr. Chris Welsh is here from Public Defender's Office. I'm sorry. But I'm saying it's good to have friends on both sides of the fence. Come on.
Thank you. I actually didn't know I was going to say anything, so give me the microphone, I'll stand up here. No, I'm just kidding. I won't take time from a great event. I'm very happy to be here. I've been in my role at the head of the Office of the Public Defender now for close to 2 years. Sorry, somebody's pointing at me in the back. And reforming the Office of the Public Defender, we represent roughly 70% of the people charged with crimes in Delaware County, and really our goal, myself and Lee Aubrey, who's sitting in the second row here as the first assistant, want to provide people with the excellent representation that they deserve from the moment that they contact the criminal justice system, and then support efforts all the way through getting out of the criminal justice system. In general, what that means for us and our representation is when you're not supervised on probation or parole, but cannot agree more with the mission of these events, which is that a criminal conviction is something that stays with you until you can have a pardon or until you can have an expungement. But every day in our work, what we're trying to do is to not just have our clients be some cog in the system, to make people realize that our clients are human beings and that no one should be defined by the worst moment of their life, and that everybody has the capacity for change. So I am excited to be here. I look forward to meeting more of you and to being much more present in this community than our office really ever has been historically. And thank you to Jonathan for all of your work.
Thank you to Chris. Chris has attended all of our events too. Just want y'all to know that. Sometimes when our condition is not what we want it to be, we can be some of the angriest people. And we flip from one side, we say, oh, I heard what they said, but that ain't how I go. Or, yeah, I heard part. We have the people from the offices that represent the law here tonight. So if you want to know how it goes, I know some of us have friends who have law degrees that they haven't picked up yet at the university. but listen to the people who are actually here. I know I have friends too, you know, they got all kinds of degrees that they never picked up at the university. So we have the people here for you to talk to tonight. So I'm not trying to chastise you, but I'm just saying for real, we have the people here. Okay, I just want to recognize this young man because he just walked in the door, and I'm happy for him. I've been going to Chester SCI for about 20 years, since 2000 or 2002. I don't remember now exactly what. But when I was going back and forth over there, I was visiting a number of inmates because I always had an audience of 50, 60 inmates. But one in particular was over there doing some work. And his work was a DADS program. It's called Dads Against Drugs in Society. And I remember when this young man went to jail. And he served, probably for making the wrong decision, he served about 42 years. 42. Now, at the time, we knew each other before he went to jail. In fact, we was out on that block together from time to time. I would see him, our paths would cross. And one day he went left, I went right. And God gave both of us a suit. Only he let me choose the one I wanted to wear that day. The one he had to wear every day. And he said that in a meeting. So, but he came home in August of 20. And every Friday he and I have a meeting, and I talk to him, but I wanted him to come here tonight to see what we were doing down here on the ground. His name is Mr. Jesse Yusef Faust. Can you just stand up for a second, please? And, you know, I can't let him speak right now because y'all won't get out of here tonight. But he says to me every Friday when I see him, he said, you know, I really appreciate being free. He said, I'm learning how to really appreciate being free. This is nice. And we ride past Chester SCI every Friday on our way to Philly, and both of us say, yo, we raise our hand and keep going. And so I'm happy to have him here tonight. He is going to be participating with us in the community, trying to help with the everything, reentry and gun violence and so forth. But we're going to keep him out the way. But he'll be in the back room with me, mastering and stuff, you know. So we're going to get on with the rest of our speakers. Let me know if any of the other expected dignitaries come. But we're going to get on. I'm happy. I've got to introduce this next speaker. And I asked her, could I call her Madam Secretary? Because she didn't want us to call her Madam Secretary. But I need to call her Madam Secretary because she deserved the respect of Madam Secretary. And I'm going to introduce to you, and some of you saw her and heard her on the Zoom call, Ms. Celeste Trusty, who is the Secretary of Pardons for the state of Pennsylvania. So I'm telling you, what she's going to tell you is legit. Don't go out and tell the friends who haven't picked up their degrees that you heard this lady and ask them, is it legit? She is the lady. She's where those letters go and where they end up and who the Pardons Board listens to. Y'all hear what I'm saying? I can't tell you anymore. Listen to her. Miss Celeste Trusty, Secretary of Pardons for the state of Pennsylvania.
I need a round of applause. Thank you so much, Mayor Linder. And Mr. Faust, welcome home. I actually, for most of you will not know, in my office, I actually have a picture of Mr. Faust when he first entered prison, and a picture of him about 5 years ago when I first was able to go into SCI Chester. And I was there for a legislative visit, and the legislative committee put on this incredible presentation. And I was so impressed by Mr. Faust. And they sent a postcard to everybody who attended afterward, and it showed everybody at the age when they entered and the age when they were now. And it blew my mind because every single one of those people in that room has such value. And to see now that a number of them are home is incredible. So, Mr. Faust, thank you so much for coming. He's a hero. He came home through the Board of Pardons, through this process of commutation. In Pennsylvania, life without parole means life. That is death by incarceration. You will leave in a body bag, basically without commutation right now. And it's so unfortunate because we have many people like Mr. Faust who deserve an opportunity to come home, but we don't let enough people home. So again, thank you so much for coming and thank you for being here. So I am Secretary Celeste Trusty, the Board of Pardons. I'm a longtime advocate for criminal legal reform. So to be now in this position working within government is so awesome to me because I get to bring my advocacy heart every single day to work. I get to carry people like Mr. Faust every single day when I go to work. When I get to talk to the board members, I'm doing it out of a place of advocacy and care. And so it's really wonderful to be able to be here, to be able to be with all of these wonderful people who you're going to hear from today, and to see all of these people in this room. You know, as Jonathan said, you could be anywhere, but you're here. We do have experts here, right? We have people in the legal profession. If you have a criminal record, a lot of people don't realize you're eligible to apply for clemency in Pennsylvania. It doesn't matter what your record is. You can apply. A lot of people don't realize this process even exists. So, am I not loud enough, Saad? My Lord. I also don't need a microphone usually, but I'll be louder in the microphone, that's fine. But yeah, so clemency in Pennsylvania shut down basically for the last 3 decades or so. But since 2019, under the chairmanship of Lieutenant Governor Fetterman, we have seen a huge explosion in people who are being granted clemency, whether it's commutation, like Mr. Faust, or a pardon. People who have ridiculous weed charges on their record. Governor Wolf has now signed 300 pardons in Pennsylvania since 2019. So that's 300 people who no longer have that stigma of a criminal record for stupid weed charges, right? Governor Wolf has almost signed 2,000 pardons since he's been governor. We're hoping we have our next set of public hearings next week. So we're hoping that after that, Governor Wolf will get to 2,000 pardons. That's unheard of, really, in the last couple, decades here in Pennsylvania. It is. Thank you. Seriously, we need to praise this incredible movement that's been happening. And then another really important fact is that 45 people who were serving life without parole are now home under Governor Wolf, who signed that commutation paper. Without that, they would still be in prison forever. And so I love clemency for many, many reasons. Again, Mr. Faust is one of them. But if you have any questions, we're going to be here to answer your questions. We're going to be excitingly bringing this process online. So the end of 2022 or early next year, we're actually going to have everything available for people to apply online for clemency. Right now, it's a paper application. It's 2022, so that seems outrageous, but it's still a paper application. So soon, people will be able to apply online. They'll be able to check their status online, which is a huge thing. We get questions all the time. People calling us, what's my status, People will be able to do it online pretty soon. So we're really excited to be able to modernize the process, to be able to come to communities and bring pardons and commutations to our community members. And I'm really excited to be able to answer any questions you all might have and excited for everybody's second chance here. So thank you all for coming.
Before we go ahead, we're going to introduce I feel like he's the star speaker. And this guy here, when you meet people, you think, we always judge people, right? Whether we know them or not. We think of somebody of a certain way and they're really not. And after you meet them, it's a whole different situation. And this guy we great bring up soon, man, is he's a guy that was incarcerated. I consider him one of the best in the business. and he's very humble. He's not arrogant. It doesn't matter what your status is. I'm so grateful to be a friend of his. He showed me and taught me a lot on a level that I could have never told anybody I'd be right here, you know, with this guy, man. He's the real deal. Before we get to him, I want to recognize we have 2 judges in here. And I want to recognize Judge Lee Graves. Could you please stand up, sir? And I want to recognize Judge Tammy Forbes. Could you please stand up? I'm sorry, Judge. I also want to recognize, like, this has been consistent. A lot of people don't get it, but we have the deputy warden of George Hill Correctional Facility that we help. I can say proudly that I helped deprivatize the only private state prison in Pennsylvania. Please stand up, Deputy Warden Fowler. We don't get these kind of opportunities, man, and we really need to take advantage of it, because this stuff is only going to happen once in our lifetime. So I really appreciate it, and if I forgot somebody, blame it on my head, not my heart, because I got a lot in my head right now. So with that being said, I'm going to let the mayor introduce Saad the way he's supposed to be introduced, because I'm going to get too dramatic with it. That's my guy. So Mayor, could you please do the honors?
Well, you know, see, I was going to sit there and let him go ahead and do it. I wasn't going to bother you with my stuff anymore. But first of all, welcome to the judges. We appreciate you having here. And again, those friends that you have that haven't gotten their degrees yet and in law, tell them there were some judges here too, okay? So you're going to get a chance. I was hesitating because I wasn't sure whether they're going to get a chance to talk to Madam Secretary and ask her questions. I'm quite sure they do. But we're going to go ahead with the program, get that part over, and then they'll be around, all the speakers and everyone will be around for you to ask questions individually, okay? But this man is an entrepreneur personified, and I'm finding that a lot of the men and women who come from prison, because who have served time in prison, come out as entrepreneurs and making huge contributions to the economy of this country. And we've got such persons in this room who are not up here, but one of the persons who is up here is Mr. Saad Solomon. He has businesses. He's in alcohol and drug business. Hey, with that, I think that I'm done introducing Mr. Saad Solomon. So, however, he has turned his life around and he has made a major contribution to society. But he can tell his story better than I can, obviously. Mr. Saad Solomon, thank you.
District Attorney Matt, just so that we're clear, the drug and alcohol thing. So.
It's all right, I'll clear your record.
Right. I've got all the pieces here. I can get prosecuted, I can get defended. Yeah, Your Honor can actually give me some leniency, right? And then Madam Secretary can pardon me. So let's humanize the room, because what we've heard a lot about tonight is what separates us from each other. Let's humanize the room. How many people here have ever walked into a conversation and said something that they didn't want to say and had to re-enter and step back? Mm-hmm. How many people here? Because that's a re-entry. That's everyone in the room almost. We've all put our foot in our mouth at some point in life, and we've had to retract. How many people here have fallen and had to get back up? Because that's what redemption is. And that makes us all human. Like, we all recognize our frailty. At 8 years old, I was incarcerated for my first felony conviction. At 8. And then 11. And then in and out until I was 17. And then I went to prison for 15 years, from 17 to 32. I came home in 2010. Today, literally today, I am 12 years and 2 months free. The opportunity to help restore the lives of the men and women that I saw complete their life sentences was taken from us. We weren't able to save the brother Fausts that I witnessed in the infirmary cell room with nothing but Advil to end their lives. They finished their life sentences inside. Out here, we have an opportunity to leverage the playing field, to be us, to be great, to be inspired, to be humble. Mayor Linder spoke to it. Why are we all so many entrepreneurs? Because we have no other choice. We're boxed out, marginalized. We have to be resourceful. We have to grind. It's grind or starve. And so this opportunity is to provide more avenues for us to have entree into mainstream society. Because us is the U.S. Us. It's us. If we don't recognize that we are a part of this community, then this community will never accept us as a part of this community. It is our community. We own the space that we occupy. We own the space that we occupy. And so from a business standpoint, you can make your voice heard through economic feasibility, founding economies, building families, supporting community. But until that reentry X that's on every single one of our backs is removed, we're not fully restored. Because no matter how far you go in life, no matter how much money you make in life, no matter how distant you are from your release, if you're not pardoned, the moment that you have to go back into the job market, the moment you have to go back for an apartment, the moment you have to go back in front of somebody, a background check will take you back to the exact same place you were the day you came home. Those same barriers will exist for us if we don't take the steps necessary to remove the civic and criminal consequence of a conviction, which is the pardon process. It's a restorative process. And while we may not need our souls to be restored, we need our civic lives to be restored, such that we have entree back into every avenue of our communities. And that's why we're here tonight, because we're all focusing on the restorative aspect of what we can do here. Now, there are going to be people that are philosophically different. There are people that disagree. There are people that have certain jobs that need to be executed and need to be done in order for society to have the balance of a legal system that represents most and all. Today, we're represented along with everyone you see here: judges, prosecutors, defenders, mayors, cabinet secretaries, business owners, Muslims, Christians, Jews, Rastafarians. Every single aspect of our community is represented. So instead of being divisive, let's be inclusive. Let's focus on what we have in common as humans, as opposed to what divides us as men and or women who have fallen and gotten back up. Because everybody has fallen. Every single one of us has fallen. And the fact that you're here shows that you've gotten back up. And indeed, a fall will never be as significant as the get back. A fall will never be as significant as picking yourself up and getting back after that. So to that extent, I can tell you that I've experienced unbelievably remarkable things in my life. And I stand here as a humble servant of every single man and woman who is in need of our services here today. I'm here to serve every single one of you here today. And we offer this service with the Legal Aid Society. We offer this service with the city of Chester. We offer this with the district attorney's office, Senator Kane's office, the Office of Defense Services. We offer this with the Pardon Board. We offer this fully resourced. We've removed the barriers that we mystify with all of our ideas. Because we know that this pardon process is complicated, it's sophisticated, it requires paperwork, it requires a lawyer. You believe in your mind that you need to spend $35, $45, $5,500 just to get a pardon, and you don't even know if it's guaranteed. Let's be real. We know this. It's out of reach. It's difficult. It's not made simple. Well, today it is. They say if you can't take Muhammad to the mountain, bring the mountain to Muhammad. Right? And so today we're bringing the mountain. And today, the gravity of that mountain is that every one of us, no matter our agility, we can climb. So let's climb together. Thank you.
Mr. Saad Solomon, and Saad, I heard it said that if you fall down 7 times, you better get back up 8. So your words are really appreciated, and you know how to get to the heart of the matter and get into the hearts of the people. Thank you so much for being here and for coming. Thank you. Just a couple of more introductions. And Madam Secretary said it so eloquently that we're going online with a lot of things. And especially dealing with reentry reminds me of when I was born and when a lot of my friends went to jail. And now where we are now. So we were born in the 20th century. But now we're operating in the 21st century. Some people are squinching out there and saying, he was born in the 20th century? What is he talking about? Yeah, in the 20th century. This is the 21st century. Everything's online now. Your whole life, your picture, so you might get used to it and get on it. There's some people who I'm still getting on about learning how to use their cell phone. I'm not going to mention any names, but we have some people here who are working with me and Jonathan King, Safe Corridors, Riverside Futures, and these guys are helping us handle the 21st century. And I'd like them just to say a couple of words. Mr. Ken Joseph, Raul Edwards, either one of you can come up, and they'll tell you, who they represent. And while he's coming up here, I remember while Saad was talking, I was thinking about when we were fighting some guys down in the other neighborhood. You know how we used to have that. I see one of my friends I grew up with out there, and they said, John, I'm not going to tell you my nickname. They said, John, you come back down here, you better bring somebody with you. So I always took them challenges serious, So I went and said, hey man, I got to go back down here and handle my business. Y'all come on with me. So tonight, me and Jonathan knew that y'all would be saying the same thing. Better bring somebody with you. Well, we brought somebody. We brought Madam Secretary. We brought Mr. Saad Solomon. We brought the DAs, the public defender. We brought the judges. We got some police officers out there too waiting. They're just waiting to start some stuff. But we have also people who represent technology, 21st century technology. So I'd just like them to speak for just a couple of seconds. I want to introduce you to them. These are our partners. So come on up, Mr. Raul Edwards. Mr. Raul Edwards.
Thank you so much. Guys, I was going to button my jacket, but I had a feeling Jim's hoagie, so I'm going to spare it. I want the button to pop off. But again, guys, thank you so much for having us out. My name is Raul Edwards. I'm partner Ken Joseph. Before I tell you a little bit about what we do, I want to thank these gentlemen up here for for one, inviting us, and then two, for having the vision and the foresight to understand where we are moving, where technology is going in this 21st century. So I come on behalf of our CEO, Trevor Brooks. Our company is called World Safe First. We are a technology company that partners on the public safety side. So think about if you were in the system and haven't been caught up in the system, how many people are in the system for lost evidence? How many people are in the system for just not having the proper technology, lost paperwork and things like that? So what our company does is we partner with companies. We partner with the largest company in the world, in Amazon, and we come up with solutions for technology in domestic violence, gun violence, re-entry. So we are bringing this 21st century of public safety to Chester with the help of these guys right here. So that is in a nutshell who we are, right? So we look forward to partnering with the judges, with the DA, the Public Defender's Office, just to bring this technology. But the real reason why we're here, if I can say, is that there's more synergy than just our technology in the room, right? We can be a whiteboard, we can create whatever the sheriff may want, we can create whatever a judge may want, because we have the largest company behind us. And I keep saying the largest company because I come representing our CEO Trevor Brooks, who was a returning citizen himself. So think about this, a returning citizen, a minority returning citizen that's had an opportunity to partner with the largest company in the world. So when he was in prison, he didn't join a gang, get tattoos. He said, the day I come out, I'm going to go to Silicon Valley, find out what this technology thing is about, and find out how we can make change. And over the last 4 years, guys, we have been involved in public safety and public health. We've tested and vaccinated over 400,000 people in South Florida, and we create technology for the public safety side. So again, I want to thank these gentlemen for their foresight. I look forward to our partnership. I look forward to speaking to each and every one of you on this front row. Before I go, I want to say second chance.
Second chance.
I'm going to say second chance like you want. Everybody say second chance.
Second chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, salute to your second chance. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We are blessed. Safe Corridors is blessed to have a real partner like that. And hopefully my Amazon packages can arrive a little faster. Being that we're going to be partners, I got the hookup, y'all. Y'all call? No, I'm just playing, don't call me. You know, there's a part that I kind of forgot that I should have kind of said first, right? Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not smart enough to pull all this off myself. I'm smart, but I'm not smart. Like, Raul just spoke, he kind of smart. I want my team, like, I got an awesome team, right? And I want my team to know, first of all, my team of Safe Corridors is in here. I'd like to please give them a round of applause, because Safe Corridors, we protect the children arriving and departing from school every day. A lot of people in this room got children that go to that school I work at, and I can tell you they probably come home happy every day, because we make sure they're safe, right? The other thing I wanted to say about my team, my other team, right? I was blessed to partner with these people up here. When Secretary Trusty became the secretary, you know, I called one of my team members. I was like, listen, you know, the other person, I don't want to say his name, he's still a good friend of mine, you know, he resigned, so what we going to do? You know, when he left, we didn't know what was going to happen. And I could say, Secretary Trusty, the first day we ever talked to her, she jumped in with 2 hands and 2 feet and said, I will partner with y'all. I will do it. She said, when y'all gonna start? I will do it. So I really, first day I met you, like, I really appreciate it. I'm gonna tell you, this lady is everywhere. I've been on Twitter. She like, I don't know how she made it here today. She everywhere in Pennsylvania, getting it in. She putting that work in. And we really appreciate it. She's been an advocate for a long time, because we talked about a lot of people that's in prison that we're trying to get out. And I can't remember everybody, because there's some loved ones in here. There's some people in there that got loved ones in prison. But I have to mention this one name, and this guy he's that guy. We call him Turk. To me, Turk is one of the guys that's in prison right now that probably taught most of us that been in jail a whole lot, man. And I just hope we let him go. Now, I'm with the secretary right now, hint, hint. You know, that don't mean that's gonna happen, I'm
I
just
would let
playing.
everybody go if I could. It's up to me.
Pennsylvania is #1 in the country, y'all. We're #1 in the country. We have expunged and pardoned more people than any other state in the country. I did my research. We're #1. The youngest person in Pennsylvania to ever get, in our area to ever get a pardon, his name is Kevin T. Morgan. I don't think he's here yet. I think he's coming. He was 20-something years old, and he did his own pardon. 20-something years old, did his own pardon. And I think his paperwork went across somebody's desk that we know too. I'm just saying to say, like, Brother Yusef's spouse, right? I was in prison with Yusef. The crazy part about it is that we all been part of his release. Before he got released, while we were talking, we found out that we all was part of his release. We were all advocating for him to get home. I walked the yard with that guy. And he was the nicest person you can ever meet. You know, having life and walking in the yard like he ready to get out next year. And I'm crying about a little 10 years, 5 years. This man walked, and he always embraced me and taught me a lot. We here now, brother. We here. So I just, y'all, I want y'all to feel where I'm at, how serious this is. This is real. We never get an opportunity to be on this stage. I'm talking about a guy like me. They never give us an opportunity to be on the stage. We're gonna take advantage of it, and we're gonna get every single thing that we can get out of it so we can finally be recognized for the work and contribution that we have done in this world, right? In this state, in this country. We've done a lot. There's a lot of formerly incarcerated people in this room right now that have done a lot of work out here that are very successful, that I know personal. I wish I could put a couple of their bank accounts out here because they got money too. My team, and please team, I know I'm putting y'all on the spot. I want to first talk about this young lady named Dawn Chamberlain, right? Y'all think we forgot about the women, but we didn't, because there's a lot of women that are incarcerated now too and going to jail and getting cases and all those kind of things. But we got Mrs. Reentry here tonight. Dawn Chamberlain, could you please stand up, please? Thank you so much for all you do. She is one of our partners. I want to also introduce, starting from the end of the table, the lawyer who is the supervisors for all of the lawyers in the Southeast Pennsylvania, Southeast Legal Aid, Miss Erica Bryant. And then the brains, Erica, you are smart. I'm not taking that from you. But the person who y'all called, who RSVP most of you, right, who talked to most of you, has been behind. We need help, y'all. Because we've been doing a lot of work. Megan, please stand up, Megan. She has made the flyer. She made sure all of the sponsors got on the flyer. She's got the RSVPs. And these two lawyers are going to be working with you tonight for free. Free 99. You ain't got to go to no lawyer and pay nothing. We doing all this for free. Free 99, y'all favorite price. And last but not least, she's gonna kill me because we haven't did my session today for mindness and wellness. I consider her one of the best out here because we all need that mindness and wellness. Miss Stacy, please stand up, please. You got to. You are part of our team. So I'm blessed, and we are taking applications, but I ain't paying no money. So, but listen, I'm blessed. We have a great team. I thought it was only right to introduce them because they are the people behind the scenes that is making it happen really, really, really well for all of us. And I forgot to mention somebody that we should have mentioned that's in here. And not only is he a confidant and a colleague and a fellow board member of mine, we actually became friends, and I'm learning so much from him. Sheriff Sanders of Delaware County, the head sheriff, our brother. Please say that. So no longer will sheriffs be taking you to prison and trying to do anything they want to do. Y'all let me know, I'll call him. I'll directly call him. He ain't playing that. He's a really tough cookie. He don't play no games. He's a professional. He's about his business. And I really appreciate the guidance that you have given me and helped me. We talk a lot on the phone, and I have the opportunity of most of these people in the front row. I have the opportunity to talk to all of them and to help me because I don't know all the answers to everything. You know what I mean? I ain't got no problem. My pride ain't in the way. If I got to make a phone call to find out something, if I don't know how to do it, I will call on all of these people up here right now. So for the first time, we get a chance to decide what we want to do, right? We don't have to get no one else to tell us what to do according to what they know to do, right? We get a chance to tell them what we want, right? When you're in the system, you are told what you're supposed to do. You are told what you can ask for. You are told what you can have. That's going to be over, because we're going to work very hard to make our voices known and heard, to get the justice that we're supposed to be getting as an individual, man or woman, re-entering back in society. So with that being said, we're going to get to work. Okay?
Again, I got this mic again. I don't know why I got it, but first of all, Jonathan, thank you for sharing, because it's always humbling to hear you talk about how grateful you are. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but again, I went to the anger thing because this is an angry thing. It's something that makes you angry, especially false incarceration, wrong incarceration, or whether you did what they said you did or not. It's after you get incarcerated. You know, I was speaking to, again, over SCI to a group, and one of the young men, you know, I think it was the first time he came in the group, and he was a very territorial guy. You know, I could tell by the way he came in, you know. And it's something about when a man comes in front of you with a shirt and tie, people tend to think, other young men think, well, he's never been there, you know. And I just looked at him, you know, and the way he talked back to me and so forth. It seemed as like he wanted me to know he was the expert at being angry as he was, and I didn't know what it was like. You know what I'm saying? You know that, you know, I'm the man here, and here you come, you telling us, giving us all this advice, you know. But I always said, you know, and Yusef will tell you, there go I. I said, you want to know who I am? There go I, were it not for the grace of God. So only one turn one way or the other. But I had to tell him that day, I said, yo, bro, I said, I'm not trying to be no expert inmate. I'm trying to be an expert at not being an inmate. And if you want to know about not being an inmate, I'm your guy. You want to know about being an inmate, you talk to another inmate. But this is an angry business because we have so many things that happen to us as a result. So in order to help you, we went and we got the folks. You got all of these people here. I saw the women too. I saw y'all taking notes. They were all men, you know. Then when Jonathan said, oh, the women, y'all said, oh, okay, well, that's good. No, we cover all the bases, but these people are here to help you. I'm not going to prolong this because you want to ask questions. And who's going to take over? Stacy, Megan, or Erica? Who's going to direct them? Erica's going to direct them.
Okay.
See, they didn't give me the mic to put me in the middle. You know, I don't know. But anyway, I hope you appreciate these people. Get your questions asked and answered while they're here, and believe me,
I'll get it.
don't
worry about it.
don't ask those people who got the degrees that they have not picked up yet. Ask all these people. They got real degrees, okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Erica Bryant. I'm supervising attorney at Legal Aid. Myself and Megan, we do pardons and expungements for free. And apparently I'm facilitating your questions. So who has them? Shoot.
Well, I actually wanted to address the secretary. How you doing, Madam Secretary? I'm glad you're here. Just a short story. I've been trying to get a pardon for years. We're not trying, but actually thinking about it. Going online, Google. When I got out in 2010, didn't know nothing about Facebook, computers, or nothing like that. I just heard about this thing they Google, and if you Google something, it'll pop up, and may be true. It's on my top 5 list of greatest events ever. But anyway, I used to Google how to get a pardon in Pennsylvania, and all these numbers and things would pop up, and I would call people, I would send emails to people, fast forward to now, we done had, what, 3 meetings? Okay, so this guy been sending me an invoice for my party. And so he finally called me. Hey, this is James. Yes, this is James. What's going on? Hey, yeah, I sent you an invoice. You didn't never invoice for what? Your party paperwork. I said, man, I'm not doing that. I know the party secretary personally. Down here 2 or 3 times. So he's like, who? I said his name. He's like, oh, that guy resigned. He's not part of this. And my heart dropped. Because at that moment, I said to myself, I done messed up. I took too long. Because the party board been around for over 100 years. And we just learned about it. You know, we just learned about it. So I said, what you mean he resigned? I said he resigned. At that moment, I said to myself, whoever takes his spot, it's not going to, they don't care about us. I was terrified. I picked up the phone and I called Brad. And he said, I said, man, the secretary, he resigned? He was like, yes, but we have Celeste. I said, who that? He said, trust me, she is down. She's here for us. And you being here proves that. So I thank you for being here. But I have 2 questions.
Sure.
The first one, the former secretary, your predecessor, said something that I thought was very important. He said, unfortunately, there are people on the board who care more about who writes a character letter as opposed to what's in it. And I thought that was profound because a lot of people don't have access to high people. A lot of people don't have access like you might know a judge or a lawyer and they'll say, well, I can't write that letter. I can't do it. I can't write this letter. I can't write this letter. So I wanted to ask you, was that true? Is there any way we can get around that? And my second question is there any point in time where this can become automatic, streamlined? And I say that to say because let's just say I got out in 2010. Here I done walked off 10 years, and I did. I walked off 10 years. I signed out in 2020. I walked off 2 state numbers and 2 special probations. So now, wouldn't it have been nice that when my parole officer came to see me for the last time, and I signed out my state papers, he also gave me right restoration affidavit that I signed as well. And they took that back. He took that back to the office, and the parole board signed off of it. Because who know me better but the people that have been monitoring me for the last 10 years?
Yep.
So now, once I signed my restoration paperwork, I signed my parole paperwork. Now my clock starts. So from that time, now I gotta walk off maybe another 1 year or another 2 years, just to see if I really got it right. And so now, when them 2 years come, I automatically get my part. It still has to be signed off, but it's a lot of steps that we didn't have to go through. You know, so I was just thinking maybe that's something we can look into.
Yeah. So,
Hey.
oh, and by the way, hey. So, yeah. One thing I will say is, and I'm going to stand up because I'm very animated about this stuff. So, when you apply for your pardon, yeah, there are going to be people who know people who are going to be able to get a letter from a senator or whoever it is. But think about the pardon as a way to show the board who you are. Tell the board your story. If you think about, if I was going to write a short story and tell the board why I deserve a pardon, right? That's what you want to do. So even if you don't know somebody who has a title, right? That's okay. If you're doing good community work, go and get somebody who, you know, runs an organization that you've been doing that work. Get a community member who says, you know, he has been here every single day mentoring the youth. Do I wish it could be automatic? Anybody who actually knows me would probably understand, yes, I do not like the way we do things, right? I think it's ridiculous that we make people jump through hoops. You served your time, you walked off your parole, you should be done. We should not require then you to go fill out paperwork, go sit and be talked to by a board of 5 people who don't know you in order to get a pardon. You're right, it's ridiculous. The thing is, our sentencing laws need to change in order to make that happen, right? So we need to make sure that we're holding our lawmakers accountable and making sure that they understand that these things are a really big deal, and we need them to advocate for second chance legislation and making things automatic, right? So we have the clean slate legislation and things like that, but it's still very difficult for people to actually have something cleared off their record. So I do wish things could be automatic. It's going to be a little while, I feel like, before any of that can happen because our legislature doesn't necessarily love second chances, unfortunately.
All right, who has the next question? Yes, sir.
I'd just like to ask the Secretary, I received commutation in 1978. Now I need to come home, but I've been home for 44 years. I've been parole for 40 years. Wow. I just recently was told by the probation department, parole department, to apply for commutation of the vaccine. And I did that.
Okay.
I started the process back in 2019, and because of COVID, it's got sidetracked. I'm just trying to find out where I might be in the process of when I'm getting a hearing or something like that. But yeah, the process does work, because I got it in 1978, and I've been home ever since.
Well, welcome home, and that's awesome. I think this is fantastic. So it's true, you can apply for what's called a max off, right? So if you're already home and you're on supervision and you want to get that supervision reduced, you apply for a max off for commutation. I mean, it's ridiculous that you are on parole the rest of your life. This is just, again, it's a sentencing issue, right? You leave life without parole, a sentence, you're on parole the rest of your life, right? And you can be sent back to prison for nearly anything. Okay? And so we need to make sure that, yes, commutation is wonderful, and I'm sure you're glad you're home, and I'm sure you're glad you're home. But I also hope that we can hold our lawmakers accountable for trying to change our parole laws, because we need to also allow people not to be on supervision forever and ever, because that costs money, that's effort that you should not have to, put out if you already served your time. But yeah, welcome home, and I'll give you my card, and you can call me and email me, and I'll let you know where you are.
King mentioned his name before, Turk Stevenson. I am friends with his son. We need to get this man out of jail. I'm 52. I think he's been locked up longer than I've been on this planet. Like, really? 6 months? Way too long. All right? We gotta get this man out of jail. All right? Please. Thank you.
I see one more question in the back. I'm going to warn you, I'm going to take one question. Then we're going to have a little bit of more just directions, because I know some of you very patiently filled out forms and want to speak privately with me and Megan. Stacy also has a few words. But then we'll have more time for more questions. So I promise, don't all leave. We'll have more time for more questions. Yes.
Someone spoke earlier, I'm not sure who it did, but someone spoke earlier successfully of the part of the state of Pennsylvania. Can someone speak to the success rate of the department in the county of Delaware?
I can get you that information probably.
My email is available.
I will give you my card as well. It's hard to find out a success rate just based on the way that we do data collection, but I can find out how many pardons have been granted for Delaware County, if that's helpful. Of course, but I'll give you my email too.
I'll say for me and Megan, we're at 100% success rate. So I'm going to let Megan say a few words about what we do at Legal Aid, and then she'll introduce Stacy. If any of you filled out an intake form because you want to speak individually and privately with me and Megan, we'll start taking y'all in the according to the number in your form.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. My name is Megan Reinprecht. I'm the pardon attorney for Legal Aid. So like Erica said, most of you have already filled out a form. That's just to make sure that you're going to be eligible for services for our office, and if you have a record, then we'll be able to represent you for free. Even if you're not eligible for our office, we'll be able to give you some advice, point you in the right direction of where you need to go to get your record cleared. There should be a number in the top right corner, so we'll just call off by numbers in that order, and we'll just be meeting. There's a classroom. If you go out and to the right, then we'll be right there. And even if you have other questions about other things, feel free to ask us. Legal Aid is full, civil legal services for Delaware County. So hopefully we'll, like I said, be able to point you in the right direction.
Can I say one thing also? Just so everyone knows also, the Board of Pardons recently made it free to apply for a pardon, so if you don't qualify for legal aid, you don't need an attorney to apply. You can apply for free. We made the application a little bit easier, so you can just download it online, go to the clerk of courts and get your documents. It used to cost money, but it's free now, so just so everybody knows.
Yes, and even if you don't qualify for our services, we have the pardon applications with us tonight for you to take with you. And like I said, we'll talk you through it at least, so you have a good plan of where to go. And now I'll turn it over to Stacy.
Hi everybody, I'm Stacy Mandel. I just want to say a quick hello, and I kind of found my way here because I trained with an organization in Philadelphia to be a pardon coach as a volunteer, and I work in Chester a bit. I teach mindfulness and meditation at Toby Farms Middle School, and I've been there for 3 years, and a lot of those kids, almost all of those kids that I work with have somebody in their immediate family who is incarcerated or was incarcerated or their next door neighbor, and I thought, well, why doesn't Chester have this program here? And then I found my way through Nicole Cogdell, who connected me to Jonathan, and it's just kind of weird how puzzle pieces fit together. We never know who we're meant to bump into or what we're meant to do in the world, but it's kind of weird that I'm here randomly. But I also want to mention that, to piggyback on what Megan was talking about and what the Secretary was mentioning, to do the pardon yourself, I can help with that. So I put out a few pieces of paper. One thing I want to mention is the writing portion of the pardon. There's some writing in the questions where you actually have to explain what you did and what the circumstances were when you committed the offense. But then there's also a quote-unquote optional section, which I was trained to tell people it is not optional. It's the narrative. It is an extremely important, valuable piece of the application that lets the pardon board hear your voice, hear your story, hear the context of what was going on in your life at the time, what you were given, what your foundation was, whatever you did, and then also to tell about what you're doing now, what you want to do, why not having a pardon is getting in your way, what it would mean to you, and there are specifics of what they're looking for, and I've got some training on how to help you brainstorm and capture certain details, because it can be overwhelming for a lot of reasons. It can be triggering, just to say the least, right? Just to go back in time like that and try to have to write my story on paper, all that kind of stuff. So I have a paper out here. You're welcome to put your name, your email, or your phone, and I will work with you for free. And then also I just want to mention too, I'm part of CODB. I don't know if you guys know about CODB. It's the Coalition for Abolishment of Death by Incarceration. Okay, good. But they're having a rally. Are you okay? Well, I'll just say they're having a rally May 25th going in Harrisburg, and there are buses. Are those going from Chester? Because I know there are buses going from Philly.
This is going from Philly. I don't have.
Yes. So this woman here has flyers, and I put also, if you want, I can send you an email with the registration link, the digital registration link. It's free, the bus, and they also provide lunch, and that's on May 25th. So I put that out. And then finally, I don't want to take up too much time, but I just want to mention, again, I'm a mindfulness coach and teacher. Mindfulness is really just paying attention here, now, because we're not usually all the way here, we're not usually fully in this moment, and doing it in a way that's kind. So I don't mean please, kind of kind, I mean more, can we just put our hand out, and if we're not in immediate life-threatening danger in this moment here, can we meet what's here? That kind of basic kindness, and then with curiosity. So curiosity meaning we've had stuff happen to us, we've been taught things, we've experienced things, and so we have our minds made up. That is normal, that is natural, it's to be expected, but can we notice those edges, and can we blur them, soften them a little bit, just so we can allow more in. Can we take in a little more? That's what I mean by curiosity. Because like Saad mentioned, being human, it means that every single one of us has a brain, and we have certain parts of our brain by design, one part to keep us alive, and we fight, flight, or freeze only, it's reactionary, and then the other part which lets us actually choose our words and actions. So you can also sign up if you would like some mindfulness, meditation, support, coaching. I have a paper here as well. So I will turn it back over to you. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to do the process. So you guys heard enough. And if you're here to get a pardon or expungement and get some help, these young ladies are going to give you the instructions of how we're going to do what. They're going to be calling people according to the number. So, Erica?
Yeah, number 3 and number 4. And if you aren't sure what your number is, come on down and I'll sort you out.
Yes. Also, I want to recognize somebody else that's here. I forgot to mention, he flew in here from Ohio. Brother Captain Dennis, man, thank you, brother, for flying out here, man. This guy is a national peacekeeper trainer all over the country, probably the world. And man, I appreciate you coming here, man, seeing me, man. This is Russell Simmons, right hand man. This is Louis Farrakhan, right hand man. I can keep going on and on and on. He ain't have to come here, brother. I really appreciate you, beloved. So we're going to be calling the next lanes as soon as we can come in and get it organized. Yeah, this is. Yes, everybody, this is a commercial break.
CMPRadio.net. It's the station. CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester.
What's up, everybody, man? We want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. Let's go. Chester Cultural Arts and Technology Center. That's the CAT Center. Mecca, Mosley Early Childhood Consulting and Advising. KC Electrical Services. Mind Our Own Businesses. LeBron Construction. Northern Marketing and Design. Pressure Inc. The Boys and Girls Club of Chester. Paragon Charisma. And Chester Community Charter School. Listen, they're sponsors. You too can be a sponsor. Hit us up at info, that's INFO, at cmpradio.net, and let's see how we can build this relationship even further. It's cmpradio.net. You already know it's the
CMPRadio.net, the voice of